spinning, and we are live. I see Usnavi just checked in. Z was the first one here. We have Josh from Moonlight Adventures. We've been talking
What's
off here
up?
for a little bit about the Marines and the Army, and then who do you know shows up but Usnavi? You know, we're
Who's
covering
snobby?
all of it. Yeah. So she'll have to put in chat what that's all about. But so yeah, what's going on, Michelle? And anyway, so today's topic, because I know a lot of people will be watching this on replay. And let me get my banner going here. I keep forgetting to show the banner. There we go. So, and yeah, Josh, before we get into this too deep, where's your subscriber count goals at right now, and where are you looking to get to maybe by the end of the year or soon after the end of the year?
So let me check because it was moving as I came in here. So we're at 817 right
Oh,
now.
there you go.
Yeah, and the goal is by the end of the year get to 1,000. It's an ambitious goal, but you don't you don't set the bar low, man. You shoot for the stars. Hopefully you'll land on the moon. So
Well, you know what? That's what I was saying. They talk about archery and stuff, and they say in order to hit the target, you got to aim just above it, right? So
yeah, yeah,
I had a goal of 2,000, and it's still a goal. I mean, if I reach 2,000 by the end of the year, I'm not going to be disappointed. But I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? What would be even cooler is if we got 2,023 subscribers before
yeah.
we hit
That
2023.
would be cool. That would definitely be cool.
Yeah, so that would be just a little bit bigger, a little better. So we're going for 2023. We're last I checked, we were 1941, so we're less than 60 away from 2,000. And what's that, about 84 or something? We got a few more people checked in, so let's say hi to everybody. Lido Tito is here now. Peer Runners is here. Kevin B is here. And Angie, the Merry Mixer, the Cake Queen, is here. She is the one in Ohio making all the best baked goods that I still haven't tried yet. You're going to have to bring some on that cruise we're going on in April.
Gotta love the carbs, man. Gotta love the carbs.
I do love the carbs. I just can't. So it's especially important that Angie bring me some in April for the cruise so I can finally try. I'm telling you, Josh, you got to go on her site. She's like one of these people that that are on the TV that makes all these crazy cakes that you're like, no way is that a cake, because it looks like some art piece or something. She does all that. She'll make cupcakes that look like roses, and it's
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a talent. She
I
definitely.
love a good cupcake. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't, right?
My body doesn't love them back, but you know what?
No, I know. I just look at them and gain weight. So anyway, so we were, the topic today, and I was trying to think of a topic that, when you're watching on replay or if you're doing a search on YouTube or whatever, you want to find the best ports because you're trying to pick out an itinerary that you really like and that you think you'll have a good time on your particular cruise. So I have 10, and actually one of them jumped into the top 10 because of the most recent cruise I did and meeting some people and getting to experience it a little bit more. But so my 10, not necessarily in any order, are Cozumel, Grand Turk, St. Martin, St. Thomas, Belize, Cabo San Lucas, Aruba, Grand Cayman, Roatan, and it was a toss-up between Bonaire and San Juan. And I went with San Juan because I just met a great group of people that have family down there, and they kind of welcomed me to the family, and we had a great meal at their restaurant, and just had a good time. And I really think that that's a big part of it, because I've heard people talk bad about a couple of the ports that I listed. For example, Belize, and I understand why they talk bad about Belize, because if you take the tender from the cruise ship to Belize, you go there, it's just kind of a bunch of souvenir shops. You don't see any pretty water. You don't see any pretty beaches or anything like that. And if you don't book an excursion and actually get out of that area, and that's all you see or do, it would be very disappointing. But Belize has some of the prettiest waters once you get out. You go towards Caye Caulker, for example, they have this area called Shark Ray Alley where there are all these nurse sharks that will just swim up in about 6 feet deep of water and crystal clear water. You'll see stingrays swimming by everything. And I mean, you can get right up in the middle of these nurse sharks. They're not going to attack you or anything like that. And it's just one of the coolest experiences. It's intimidating the first time you do it because they do look like sharks, at least, from the top and everything. Their mouths look a little bit like a giant catfish or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a super cool experience. And, if you don't book an excursion outside of that, you're missing out. So let me scroll up. I see we got some more people. We got Michael here. I mentioned Kevin already. Let's see what cruise you're doing in April. Kevin, we are on the Carnival Horizon in April 1st. As a matter of fact, the Carnival Horizon. Oh, Kevin, you're on the horizon too. What day? Because we're April 1st. So maybe. And Angie, she is on the cruise as well. Yeah. Angie says we booked our next cruise because of the company. And that's because we're on the same cruise. Angie is part of the Charlie's Angels. For those of you that follow my vlogs, we met her and her group, Christy and Nikki, on the, I think it was the Carnival Valor. And we all had a great time hanging out with one another. So booked another cruise together. So yeah. So Josh, well, since we just went on that topic real quick, what friendships would you say that you've made like on a cruise ship that were unexpected, that you're in contact with people still?
Unexpected. We had a couple of folks that we met. John Byler was the gentleman's name, and they were from Middle Tennessee, which is where we lived for 18 years. And we were just kind of hanging out at the Red Frog Pub on our first cruise, and was like, "Where y'all from? I know that accent," And we ended up going on an excursion together to Mr. Sancho's in Cozumel, and we went on an excursion with them later on and hung out on the ship and did karaoke. And we're still Facebook friends and talk back and forth. They're members of the mafia, and that's been really cool. And then we also met Miranda from I Love Cruising Royal.
Okay.
Now, that was a YouTube started friendship, but I really didn't know her. She kind of contacted us through our Instagram page. And first time we met her was on board the Symphony of the Seas. And, again, just she has an awesome channel. I Love Cruising Royal. I'm jealous of her title because she gets subscribers just because, right? That's a great, just a great channel name.
Right.
Yeah, she has a good channel, wonderful woman that has a lot of good content for single cruisers. But yeah, I mean, and then, just you meet people every time you go on a cruise, right? And well, all right. So I got one more. I forgot about this. Cruiser Steve down in Jacksonville. He tries to cruise on every ship he can every other week or so out of Jacksonville. And this guy's like, so anyway, I call him Cruiser Steve. I don't even know his name because I think his Facebook page is Cruiser Steve. And then he's got like something Sweet Steve or something in Facebook on YouTube. But we were out in the parking lot and I was like, "Hey man, I do daily dad jokes for my YouTube page." I was like, "Do you happen to have a dad joke you want to share?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got one for you." And so anyway, we've kept in touch, and he pops in and out of our channel from time to time. But I'm a pretty social guy. I don't have a problem with. I see somebody sitting near us or around us, I'll ping on something that they have that we have in common, and I'll just strike a conversation up.
Yeah,
it's cool to meet new people,
Yeah, for sure. And even doing this, like, meeting you, we got Bruce. I'm about to introduce her in just a second. Before I do that, though, I failed to introduce the co-star back here. And so let me just say real quick, the super chats, we do those every week. And for example, Tim is numbers 1 through 3. Last week we got we got to our total of 100. When we reach 100 total super chats, then what we do is we do a drawing for a Coach Cruz shirt. I have a Coach Cruz shirt on right now. I got the black one. We got about 4 or 5 different colors that you can choose from and different sizes and such. So any dollar denomination, you could put $1, for example, super chat. If you put $1 super chat, then, for example, Tim is numbers 1 through 3 right now. You would be number 4. So if I drew number 4, if you did a $1 super chat, then you would win a Coach Cruz shirt that normally would go for $25. So it could work out. Now, if you do a $10 super chat, this one back here gets to leave me alone. And you see her eyeing this chewy treat here that takes her a few minutes to.
She's ready.
Up. Yeah, she's ready for it. But yeah, $10 super chat gets Sadie here taken care of. And if somebody is super adventurous, I got some Angels Envy now. And this is 2 or 3 shows now. And we're about halfway through, but I do a shot and Sadie gets taken care of. So I do a shot in your honor, and Sadie eats a treat in your honor if you do so much. So let me introduce our guy, Bruce, from Ocean to Ocean. Welcome to the show, Bruce.
Hey, how's it going?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hey, how are we doing this night?
We're doing good.
We're getting ready to. I can pop on for a few minutes. We're finishing up, getting ready for our live.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Which Josh is going to be on it.
I'm a busy boy tonight.
Yeah, I guess so. You're just
and Greg and Felicia with LCT Travels Adventures is going to be on it also. We're going to be talking about the booze cruise. So
okay.
It's going to be the moon cruise. You had it right. It's going to be the moon and the Firebird cruise. You had it right the first time.
Yeah.
No, well, that sounds like fun. So I mean, when you're done with this one, kind of like I did Island Times after party on Sunday, you can go right to.
We're doing the Coach Cruise after party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, look, so we got Pure Runners here. They jumped in and they're going to get numbers 4 and 5. And thank you, Pure Runners, for that. Real quick before I throw that up on the screen, I just did one mention, Kevin. Just by luck, he has the Horizon book the same week that I'm going on it. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, Kevin. And you'll as you pointed out, Angie is on that cruise as well. So you'll get a chance to meet her. We'll definitely do a bar crawl. As always, I'm always going to do, and Pure Runners. Yeah, you definitely will see me on the Lido. You can't get me off at half the time. But so we got Rayleigh Creative Travel here as well. Hello, Rayleigh Creative Travel.
Watch that guy. Watch him.
Yeah. Oh, is he trouble?
Yeah, you got to watch out for Blaine.
Oh, okay.
He's trouble. He's trouble.
Yeah. Oh, we got Tim checking in. Tim is here again. Tim G, what is going on? The man that lives on Easy Street, where we're all trying to get to. I love the street that he lives on. I can't say it enough. So anyway, Bruce, I asked Josh earlier, we were talking about the 10 best port destinations of tropical places that Carnival goes to. The list I came up with was Cozumel, Grand Turk, St. Martin, St. Thomas, Belize, Cabo San Lucas, Aruba, Grand Cayman, Roatan, Mahogany Bay, and San Juan Bonaire. So kind of like 10 and a half.
Pretty much hit them all. I mean, those would be the ones on my list.
Well, so here's the ones that I didn't list. I didn't list Amber Cove. I didn't list Progreso. I didn't list La Romana. There's a couple other Mexican Riviera ports that I forgot about.
How about Bimini?
Yeah, I haven't been there. I haven't been to Bimini, and I haven't been to Bermuda. I was supposed to go to Bermuda, but my flag football girls, they made the playoffs, so that kind of canceled that cruise in a good way. Now here's the ones that I can live without.
This is I was about to ask you about one of these, and I'm pretty sure you're about to name it.
So Costa Maya, Bahamas, and Jamaica. Pretty much any of the Jamaican ports. I don't dislike. Don't get me wrong. There's none of those ports that I just mentioned do I dislike. But you know, I just I don't know. I mean, they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite.
So I've heard that about Costa Maya, however you want to say it. We just got back. Our last cruise, we went to Costa Maya, and we just happened to watch Howie Cruise's video on Costa Maya, and they recommended going to Mohawal, which is what we did, and we're so glad we did. It was amazing. It was truly amazing. But it's more of you get out there and you're kind of an older Mexico kind of area, right? And it's all the storefronts and everything are more local. It's not like the commercial stuff you see right there in the port. So we really enjoyed it, but we didn't get to experience the stuff right there off the pier though. So
yeah, and I mean, like I said, I've been to a couple kind of like all-inclusive beaches in Costa Maya, which you know, it was okay. It was fun. I did have a really good snorkeling experience there in Costa Maya when I went
beautiful.
with mine. So again, there's
I've actually enjoyed Jamaica. We just did Foulmouth, and I'd heard a lot of bad things about Foulmouth, but we actually enjoyed. We did a river rafting, and we actually enjoyed it. It went to Good Hope, I think it was. Used to be a sugar cane plantation and everything, but we enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. See, I thought you were going to come with Freeport as one that you could do without,
or Nassau. I can see either one of those.
Well, you know, and all of these ports, and I've had a good time in Jamaica as well. Like I went to the Blue Hole, and that was a good experience.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
You know, jumping into the waterfall and things like that. So it's not that I haven't, but I'll tell you what I don't like about Jamaica is, and this is true of several ports, is you get inundated with solicitors, you know, when you're anywhere that's not excursion centric or whatever. Yeah. And it's a little overwhelming because, I mean, you can't walk 5 feet without somebody trying to be in your face, trying to get you.
Yeah. And in Nassau, they are very aggressive in Nassau. I remember the very first time that we went there, when we were right off the cruise port, we went down into the straw market, and 2 gals literally were fighting over my wife, each grabbing an arm to pull them to her booth. And it's like, okay, we're done. We're out of here. And they started fighting. They started punching each other.
Wow.
So I don't, unless I'm doing an excursion, I do not like Nassau at all.
Yeah. Our experience was, we did pretty good getting to Senior Frogs, but then when we left, it's like all the drug dealers wait for you to leave. And we had already been told, like, hey, when you go in the bathroom, there's a guy in the corner, just tell him no. And apparently he was selling cocaine in there. You come out and, you know, they're like, hey, 420 blow. I'm like, nobody's ever offered me any of this in my lifetime. And now here it's confront, you know, it's like, no, I don't, no.
Well, let's say hi real quick. We got a couple more people checked in. Cruise Nuts. We got Bob Dabalina, and he's like, Jamaica. What do you? I think you're saying, like, how could I not like Jamaica? Again, I've had fun in all of these places at some point or another.
I didn't know. I mean,
I don't want to.
Did you say Grand Cayman?
Grand Cayman, I like.
Okay,
that's one of my top 10. I like
one of our favorite ones is actually Roatan. We so enjoyed ourselves at Roatan.
I love
at the Carnival Port, they have that beach where you take the chairlift over, and we loved that beach.
Now I haven't been on that side of Roatan yet. We were on the Gravel Bay side.
Oh, okay.
And we loved Gravel Bay. I mean, even the off the pier area, but then we went out to Jungle Top Animal Park, and it was amazing.
All right. Well, Tim is taking care of Sadie here. You have number 8 through 17. Number 8 through 17. I almost put 18 through 27. Kevin has number 6 through 7. Thank you for that super chat, Kevin. And then again, Kevin's going on the April 1st Horizon cruise with us, and we just found out about that today. And then we got Tim G, who's been on the Mardi Gras with us. And high five for Tim. That's why you're getting that treat. Leave me alone for a few minutes now.
So hey, Coach, you said I know this is a little bit different subject here, but didn't you say you guys are sailing out of Norfolk on the Magic?
Yes, that just happened actually. I didn't remember mentioning that, but I was actually originally booked on. Well, I'm on the Celebration twice in June, and then I was on the Celebration again in August for a little 6-day, but then I got an offer for an aft balcony on the Magic for an 8-day out of Norfolk, August 5th through the 13th, I want to say. And then I have starting right after that. But I'm like, you know what? I got an aft balcony for, the ridiculously good price. So I had to take that deal.
All right. So send me those dates if you would. Because we're going to hit it hard that's moving into the fall. That's when we're looking to try and book at least 2 more cruises in the fall.
Well, hey, it's an 8-day.
It's our home port.
I know it's doing Grand Turk is one of the ports I remember.
Yeah.
Because you said you're going to Grand Turk. And I'm going to give everybody my top 3 here before I forget to do it. So honestly, Cozumel is for sure going to be one of my top 3, probably my top. Part of the reason is, well, I got a friend that lives down there. So almost every time we go down, we see her, and she's a dive master, scuba. She trains like the professionals how to teach scuba diving and stuff. So we always have a good time hanging out down there. But Cozumel, aside from all the all-inclusive beaches, there's this beautiful place, this beautiful sandbar called El Cielo. And, it's about, 4 feet deep. You can go out there, waist deep water, crystal clear. You'll see stingrays swimming around, but basically I call it the world's most beautiful tailgate because you'll see boats parked there and everybody's just out there partying, listening to music, drinking tequila, drinking beers, eating fresh made guacamole and ceviche with chips and everything. And it's just a big old party in the middle of the ocean. The water is crystal clear blue and everything. It's just a really, really cool experience. And then you have, obviously you have Mr. Sancho's, you have Paradise Beach, you have all the other all-inclusive. You have some nice beaches in Cozumel, and the price is very good for everybody. So, yeah, Cozumel. I put Grand Turk, and Josh, you said you're going to go there for the first time soon. Grand Turk I love because of its simplicity and its water. You don't need to buy an excursion in Grand Turk because as soon as your ship pulls up, you're on a absolutely beautiful beach, crystal clear blue water. There's lounge chairs all the way down the beach with umbrellas and everything. You can just chill out at the beach all day, and it's a beautiful beach. And like I say, your ship's like literally right there. If anybody ever gets left in Grand Turk, that's like the funniest thing.
Don't jinx it. I'm going there in January.
I
get to drink and there's no telling what may happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see you. Like you would just like literally.
Don't worry, I'm sure, Josh. There'll be plenty of cameras. You will catch you on as one of the pier runners.
See, I think Brad is challenging me now to see if I could get left in Grand Turk.
Well, the peer runners are actually in the chat today, so we got the peer runners here. We got La Perry here. What's up, La Perry? Tony G, as I mentioned, Griswold Family Vacations. Kevin. All right, we'll see you, Kevin. Take care. Yeah,
Coach, you were talking about Cozumel, which we love. We did, and a lot of people don't talk about this resort, but Nachi Combe. Cacombe.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Nachi.
Oh my God, we did that one, and it was not expensive. It was like $70 per person, but you get a 4-course meal.
Wow.
And they have other things they offer, but they don't hound you. They do it one time, and you should just say no, thank you, and they leave you alone.
That's
nice
good.
water. It was we love that. We wish we could have stayed there longer. They have a nice pool there also.
Yeah, you're not the first person I've heard that has said that about Nachi Kokum. You said,
yeah, Cacombe, I think is how you. I
Nachi
think that's how the
Cacombe
driver
and,
said to actually pronounce it.
Paradise Beach is the other one I've heard a lot of good about.
Well,
yeah, we've done Paradise Beach too. So
yeah,
and I'll be honest, we've never done Mr. Sancho's, and so the booze cruise that we're going to be talking about in our live, we're going to do Mr. Sancho's during that one. So
Sancho's is a great party time. Like, I mean, it's not so much that you couldn't have your children there either, if that makes sense. So it's like an extension of what's going on the Carnival cruise ship onto the beach. But Nachi and Paradise, I think, are a little more, relaxing than.
Yeah. Now, see, Paradise for me was a good balance because they have the music and everything going the same way. And I could see more of a party at Paradise Beach, but Mr. Sancho's is definitely the more party because they have the 2 separate pools. And it always seems like the pool on the left when you first walk in is like the party pool. And then the pool that's a little more reserved is off to the right. You got to kind of go off to the distance. And then you can go to the ocean, like you say, with your kids, and they got the play toys and everything else like that. Paradise Beach has those play toys and everything. I like the food a little bit better. And Bruce, you mentioned this with the Nachi Kokum or whatever. One of the things that annoys me a little bit about Mr. Sancho's is you get a lot of soliciting requests from their vendors. Paradise Beach, didn't notice hardly any of that at all.
Yeah, I've never been. We've done Paradise twice, and we've never been hounded at Paradise.
Right.
When we go in, they ask, "Hey, do you want to do these?" Nope. Okay, you're good. So never been hounded there. So
the other thing I like about Paradise a little bit more is I like the food as much or more at Paradise, and not only that, but the service. Like there's been times where I'll order food at Mr. Sancho's and it'll be a long time before you get it. Paradise Beach, they're on it. They have their little, iPads or whatever, and they're punching it in. And there's 3 different people. Like you'll order it from one guy, but then 2 other guys will bring you, 2 different things from your ordered stuff. But I mean, Mr. Sancho was great, so don't let me sway anybody from Mr. Sancho.
No, but another thing too, and I heard this from I heard this from Marcia because her and Kurt were talking about booking what we're going to book on the booze cruise, and if they settled, sounds like they may have settled on Sancho's, which is great. I love Sancho's. But one of the things that they had heard when you're talking about differences between these beaches is that Nachi and Paradise, there's a cap to how many people they accept on. And I don't think Mr. Sancho's caps it. I think
Sancho's sells out. I don't know what their cap is, but yeah, they do seem busy. And you know what, Bob, and thanks, Tim. I saw you responded to Bob's question there. Bob says in Amber Cove, would you look for excursion or take advantage of a free pool area? Bob, I'll tell you one excursion that's amazing in Amber Cove. If you're the adventurous type, they have this thing called the Damawagwa waterfalls or whatever, and it is really, really fun. It's exhilarating. You're in a natural series of waterfalls. I don't know exactly how many. I think we jumped off 7 when we went, but the first one you go jump off of is about a 40-foot jump. And Josh, you look like a pretty big guy yourself too, and I'm a big guy, way about yeah. And I was, I'm not a big heights person either, so this thing intimidated me a little bit because you're going to a different country, and I don't know how much these guys make to work these things where they tell people to jump 40 feet off a a rickety, jump or whatever into a natural pool. But I'm thinking like, hey, is this deep enough? Because I'm a big guy. Like how much weight can this pool that I'm jumping into absorb? Because you always hear about people jumping into shallow water and being paralyzed or something. So I have that fear. But they assured me, like, okay, jump right there. You'll be okay. Now, I will say this. I jumped into 2 different waterfalls, and I did touch bottom in 2 of them. But touched bottom in one. Not hard, but it touched. And then I think my feet touched in another one. But the waterfall thing is really, really cool. I mean,
see, I'm built like a bowling ball, man. So, like, I think I have a little bit more surface area. I'm a little more buoyant, most likely. I'm not that solid.
It's 6.
Well, yeah, bowling balls. Those find the bottom often. So
They do.
Got to be careful.
All right, guys. Hey, I gotta hop off. We're trying to get our live all set up. We got some things we got to do. So, but everyone, hop on over after Coach Cruz.
Yeah.
And,
we're
on Ocean Travel. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
See you in 30.
All right. See ya.
We'll see you, Bruce. We got Fireball Steve here too. And like I said, Tim just jumped in on that super chat last time. And Fireball Steve is going on the New Year's Eve cruise with me. We had Usnavi and Lalita Loca. I mean, not Lalita, Lito Tito.
Lito Tito.
Lalita Loca, yeah. That's the other cruise creator. Oh, we got Jamie. Jamie was just a guest host or a guest star, I guess, on the last episode we did. They were unfortunately supposed to be on the transatlantic on the Jubilee, which canceled. So they had that plan all planned out. They were actually going to get married on the ship. I think it was I'm pretty sure that was the ship they were going to get married on.
Yeah.
And but they got new plans. They're going to be on the Venezia out of New York. So they made up for that. And
have you seen some of the plans they have for that ship?
I saw some pictures with all the Italian.
But they're going to do like an Italian guys in there.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't look at it too hard. I did briefly look at it, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I know they had a live show where they were talking about it. I didn't catch that show yet, but
that ship looks amazing. I mean, it looks like you're walking into the pictures I've seen of it now. It looks like you're walking into the Venetian or something in Vegas. It's just beautiful marble and columns, and it's like a beautiful ship.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be on the Luminosa this July, going to Alaska, but the Venezia looks a little more polished, I guess you could say, than the Luminosa. But the Luminosa will be fun. It'll be a different ship with an Italian theme as well.
I think you'll like that layout. I believe it's pretty close to the same layout as like the Carnival Spirit. And we love the Spirit. It was easy to navigate, and everything was just. I mean, it was just the perfect size ship, if that makes sense. So it wasn't not too big, not too small, just right.
Well, Josh, I don't know if I asked for your top 3. I put Cozumel, Grand Turk, and St. Thomas. I don't know if I mentioned St. Thomas. I don't get the opportunity to go to St. Thomas very often, but I just recently on the Magic went to St. Thomas, and Megan's Bay is absolutely beautiful. I think it's Koki Beach. There's another really beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful beaches there in St. Thomas, but Megan's Bay is like the postcard. In Grand Turk, like I said, the thing I like most about that is, I mean, you can get super hungover the day before, and you can still make it to Grand Turk and just fall in a lounge chair and still enjoy yourself. The area we have here, so you're gonna really, really like Grand Turk, and like I said, you don't need to book an excursion there. I mean, the beach is right there.
We're excited about both of those. So we haven't been to Grand Turk or Amber Cove, and we're pretty excited about both.
So you're doing the water.
That's the plan. I mean, we don't have anything booked yet, but yeah, I mean, unless for some reason I get to where I can't,
Oh,
Yeah, that's the plan. You never know. I never try to get my expectations up. I've learned from being in the military. If you set your expectations just right, because if I get too excited about it, it never fails. I'll like break a bone or something, and
oh. I mean, you'll be okay. But I did a video on that one if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I did. We've already watched yours. Yeah,
Oh.
we watched it, and because I was telling my wife, I was like, "Hey, Coach was talking about this," and so I showed it. But our top three, and I don't know if you are looking for private islands as part of this or not. But Coco Cay, that has to be our top so far. And then right after that would probably be Roatan, and either Costa Maya or Bimini. The only thing I didn't like about Bimini was at the time when we were there, they had just started back up. So it was a little out of sorts, but as far as just Resorts World, what they've done to that place, it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'd go back to Bimini in a heartbeat.
A coworker that went to Bimini, and she was sending pictures or posting them on Facebook, and I'm like, where are you at? Because I knew she was on a cruise, and she had told me, Bimini, and I'm like, wow, I gotta get over there. That's one of the spots that's eluded me, but it looks cool. It looks like they got some really pretty water and beaches and stuff. So
I want to go back there when I want to be on the beach at sunset and through the evening, because where we went to the Resorts World private beach. They had two very large pools there with swim up bars and everything. It was really nice, but they had these fire pits that were huge. They were these huge globes, and one of them had the Resorts World logo. One was just a globe. Another one was like a flamingo or something. And at night, I've just got to imagine when they set fire to those things. It's just amazing out there on the beach.
Yeah, that's cool. I love a good fire pit. Can't beat. That's one of the cool things. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, because if you go to Hawaii, you got all those tiki torches that they set on fire, and in the middle of the night, you see that when they do the hula, the luau's and things like that. That's a really cool thing.
And you can go to the casino there too if you want. Just go to the casino.
Oh, Bimini's got a casino.
Yeah, the Resorts World Casino. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, Sadie, if you haven't noticed, everybody is scratching my arm here. So I think she's trying to remind me to tell you all, if anybody does a $10 super chat, she gets an extra special treat. That takes her a few minutes to chew up, and if anybody does a 20, but aside from that, we gave away a shirt last show. We're up through number 17. Now, I don't think we're going to get $83 worth of super chat today, unless somebody gets very generous very quick. But if you do a super chat today, then that you stay in the drawing. So, for example, Lynn won the super chat drawing, and she wasn't even on the show. So, like Pure Runners, for example, Kevin B. and Tim, they're all going to be entered next week. So even if they're not in next week's show, actually Sunday, I'm doing another island time after party Sunday night. So that'll be the next show, but then following Tuesday. But yeah, those just keep carrying over until I do the drawing for 100. Then we start clean or whatever. So, okay, relax.
Yeah, I think me and Derek, I think we compete for time on Sundays.
Oh yeah, because you're 8 o'clock too, right?
Yeah. I mean, not that I'm competing with him or anything. There's plenty to go around, but I don't hardly ever get to watch Derek anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Derek, I tell you what, he's got the Islander crew definitely.
Hey, you know what? I'm proud of the ones that I get if I'm up against Derek. It's like, we keep growing the crowd that comes in, and it's like, we got Derek on the other side, so we must be doing something right if we're getting the numbers we're getting, right? So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you guys are definitely, and obviously I've been on your show and you've been on my show a few times, but yeah, no, I mean, you guys put out a really good show, and everybody that hasn't already checked out Josh and his wife, they do some really funny comedy stuff. Like I'm always seeing your Facebook page, and then you all dressed up and everything, and his wife has taken over the thumbnails, so that
Yes.
looks a lot better.
Oh, they look really good. Yeah.
So yeah, they do some really corny, funny stuff. So if you haven't checked out the Moonlight Adventures, definitely go check them out for sure.
We try to have fun. We're not in it to make money or anything like that. It's a hobby, and we have fun. And we try to be authentic. So.
Yeah, and we got Sandra jumped in here, and Sandra, I just sent you the link if you want to jump in. Sandra is our TikTok CEO. TikTok Sandy is her name. But anyway, you do the TikToks too, right, Josh?
Well, so that's another thing that Chastity is the TikTok CEO. So
Okay.
I create what I do though is I usually create them through Canva. And then I shoot them over to her, and she manages the account. She likes doing the thumbnails, but up until she really doesn't want to do any of the video editing right now, at least. So she's getting more and more into it as we go. But
well, the editing is a pain, as you know. Sometimes editing can be fun, though. I'll tell you when I have fun editing is after the bar crawls. When I'm editing the bar crawl videos, like I remember that moment in the bar crawl where whatever it is that I filmed happened, and I swear I have a smile on my face.
Oh yeah.
I don't always have a smile on my face editing. Sometimes it's laborious, I guess you could say, and seems like it takes forever sometimes. But yeah, it could be a lot of fun. Especially. Obviously, if we're doing cruise related stuff, it's going to be some fun. So, most of the time I don't mind the editing for that reason. But yeah, it does take a good bit of time for sure. This is not, a venture. This has got to be something that you enjoy doing, like hobby, because it's definitely not. You're definitely not going to get rich off of it. You know that, and then. I have thankfully gotten to the point where I've monetized now, but even the shirts that I sell and I give away through the super chats as well. But I don't see really any money out of that just because, for example, I just got in the mail today 200 lays and Sadie's 200 lays and then a bunch of these little glowing light. They're like little marbles almost that light up. You can put them in drinks. And so when I go to the Alchemy bar on a Carnival ship or something like that, you throw them in there and the whole drink lights up, turns it into like a little disco show or whatever. Yeah. So I buy stuff like that. So, those items that I just bought that I'm going to take on the New Year's Eve cruises, it would cost me $70.
Yeah.
And I make, after shipping a t-shirt, I make about $4 or $5. So, I gotta sell about 20 t-shirts just to cover the cost of the lays and the stuff and then for example, these little Coach Cruise buttons, I give these away. If you ever see me on a cruise, you come find me and say, "Hey Coach, I got to get one of those buttons." Chances are, if you see me doing vlogs, you probably hear in the background this jingle jangle. It's all these little buttons that I carry around in my cargo shorts or whatever. And I just give them away.
So you need a good fanny pack, Coach. That's what you need.
No, I'm never wearing that.
So we went to Disney World a few years ago, and my wife was like, "I'm getting all the guys fanny packs." I was like, "If you're going to make me wear a fanny pack, then I'm picking it out." And so I got the most obnoxious fanny pack ever. It's a unicorn with a cat riding on top of it. The unicorn is like spitting fire out its nostrils, and the cat has an M16 with sunglasses on. and I've gotten a lot of comments on that on that fanny pack, but
Yeah.
I always forget it. I keep thinking that I need to bring it with me on a cruise and pack some of our postcards and stuff like that in there, but I always forget it.
There she is.
TikTok Sandy.
I was going to say, you're in the dark.
Hey, what's up? I
Hey,
know.
good to meet you.
I don't know what was going on. Good to meet you too.
So tell us, TikTok Sandy, because I know you got a lot of new material now that I supplied you with. So what is in store for all the Coach Cruise TikTok fans out there?
Okay, so I'm working on. So when you sent me that one earlier today, I was like, oh, that's really cool because we don't have a tutorial video out there yet. So I'm thinking of what I'm going to put on the front end and the back end of that. I have already trimmed it into just the instructions. So that's going to be out in a couple of days. The other one is, I put one out today, but I don't know why the quality is just not all that great. But anyway, I used that other app that TikTok users uses, CapCut. So I've got a recap plan. So I've been putting a whole bunch of stuff together for a recap of 2022.
Okay.
So I'm taking notes. You said CapCut, huh?
I'm sorry?
CapCut? That was the
CapCut.
Yeah, I got to check that out. I've been using Canva for hours.
Okay, yeah, CapCut's got a lot of templates and they're super cool.
Well,
so let's talk business here, Coach. Let's just go ahead and minimize you. I'm going to see what I can do to poach Miss Sandy away. I'm going to headhunt TikTok Sandy here.
There we go.
Oh.
Well, cheers, y'all. Let me have just
all we have to offer is sausages. That's all we have.
Well, what were you going to say, Josh?
No, I was being sarcastic. I was going to try and steal TikTok Sandy away and see if we could add her to the Moonlight universe and get her to be our TikTok person.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it probably wouldn't be hard to do because I'm not paying her much. So
that's what I don't know what I could offer you that because I'm just doing
it. I'm doing it for fun.
Yeah,
we did celebrate her Houston Astros winning the World Series. Though.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I set her up with the jersey there.
If you're not a Braves fan, I can't. So I've got a coworker, one of my employees. He's a big Astros fan, and we were actually last year when the Braves and Astros were in. We were in Alaska together. So we had a big, we wasn't a big party, but the three of us that were on the trip, we were in the room watching it. And anyway, he really rubbed it in on me this year, because the Bravos fell out really early. But
oh yeah, well, you know what? At least you were in the dance. The Cubs, they were eliminated, I think, by the All-Star break or something. So,
and I gotta get out to Wrigley. So I come to Chicago quite a bit, almost as often as I come to New Jersey, and I have yet to make it out there. I've went out to see the White Sox, which I'll never go do that again. I'll never go to South Side of Chicago ever again.
I don't know why Sox fans are bad, but I'll tell you what.
I was offered a bag of weed for my tickets. I got off the train, and that's the first thing I was hit with was, "Hey, dude, you smoke pot?" Like, no. Like, well, I'll give you a bag of weed for your tickets. No, I'm good, bro. No.
Yeah, that's a better offer than most people get.
Yeah.
So you should have been. You saw it pop in for the first time in about several weeks there.
I did end up making a deal with the guy.
I was like, hey.
She's trying to get Sadie to pose for treats here, so that's why Sadie's looking up in the air now instead of scratching my arm up. And then we got Suzanne checked in. She made the show. She was supposed to be. Now speaking of Belize, we were talking about Belize earlier, but her and I and her two children were on an excursion doing the Nurse Sharks, and that's how we met. And we kind of awesome in the Facebook group, and it's super cool. Yeah. Anytime you go to Belize, there's two excursions I highly recommend: the Nurse Sharks and the Stingrays off of the island of Cape Cocker, or the Cape Cocker. It's a really cool experience. You got to take a water taxi to get up there. And Goff's Cay is another super cool excursion.
You better believe it, Brad. You better believe it.
Yeah, exactly. So just to recap, if anybody's joining us late, as I know Susanna is joining us late, we were talking about our favorite ports. And TikTok Sandy, you have been on a few cruises. What are your 3 favorite ports of call that you've been to, would you say?
I was not, I'll tell you what, I was not a fan of Ocho Rios.
That's Jamaica. That's one of the ones that we all talked not glowingly of Jamaica today, I think. So.
Yeah, and sorry I was late. I was shopping. Yeah, I was not a fan of that, but Stingray City was okay when we were in Grand Cayman, and I just couldn't get into the stingrays. They were just too big and scary for me. I was afraid I was in, I don't know. I was just afraid of the way they looked. And but otherwise it was beautiful. The other places that I've been to are Cozumel and where did I go last couple years ago that I loved? Man, I forgot the name of that place. But will you take like a sky ride down to the beach?
That's in Roatan, but that's
yes,
Mahogany Bay, right?
Yeah, Mahogany Bay. I really like Mahogany Bay. I thought that was a really pretty place, and it was fun, and I remember most of the day, not all of it.
A lot of people. What I like about Roatan, there's 2 things. West Bay Beach is their public beach, but it's on the other side of the island. It's an absolutely beautiful beach. But then Little French Key is a lot of people's favorites, and they got a lot of stuff going on. They got a zoo there, actually on the island. They got a couple bars, but it's just beautiful water surrounding it. They got some diving platforms that you can jump off and stuff. Free water activities, great snorkeling, all kinds of good stuff going on there. So that's another really good one. Susanna is not a fan either of Jamaica, it seems like. So yeah, I think if you've learned one thing from the show tonight, if Jamaica is a highlight on the itinerary of the cruise, maybe look at a different itinerary.
You got to do it once. You got to do everything once.
I did it once, and I won't do it again, especially not on that excursion. I did that, what was it called? Some party boat. It was terrible.
But if you're like me, sometimes I look at bad ports of call as an opportunity to stay on the ship.
Yeah.
This is true. And actually,
love it.
And actually, Anita and I did that. We were on the Horizon, I believe it was, and we were at the Havana cabins, and we got back on the ship early. All we got off the ship for was to get some sunscreen because we ran out of sunscreen, and we had to walk quite a ways to find a shop that actually had the sunscreen. But we were inundated with solicitors the entire way. I mean, just bombarded. We did stop for a couple Red Stripes at a bar, which was fun. Red Stripes in Jamaica always taste better than Red Stripes in general. But yeah, that was.
I stayed on the ship in Cozumel this last time on the Horizon because I've done Cozumel a few times, but then I regretted it because I was like,
oh my God,
I probably could have done what was that, Paradise Beach? And I didn't, but I'm totally gonna do it next time. I've never been to Paradise Beach, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Well,
so I did a few TikToks on Paradise Beach.
Right.
Of Paradise Beach of course I wasn't in it, but Brad was, so it was good.
We went to this last time we went to Cozumel. We decided that we wanted to get off the ship and do some things, but we also wanted to get back on in time to do some stuff on board because we were on the Symphony, and it was like, let's go do some things that we didn't get to do because it was too crowded. But one of the things we found that was fun is, and we've never seen this in Cozumel before because we've always went to Mr. Sancho's, there's a couple of little swimming areas like right there, right in front of Senior Frogs, and we had a good time. I mean, so you bring your beer down to the pier and drink and swim in the ocean, and you've got the music from Senior Frogs playing there, and the ships are behind you. It's really a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Cost you a dime,
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. No,
do you cruise Royal Caribbean often?
This was our first time, so we've been Carnival loyal up until that time. It was my wife and I's anniversary, and that was her anniversary present, was jumping on the Symphony. And so
did you like it?
We did it. Oh, we loved it.
Really?
I've said this before, so some people had warned us, like, hey, don't go too heavy on like how much you loved Royal Caribbean, because you'll lose your Carnival people. And for us, it's different. There are things while we were on Royal Caribbean that we were like, I miss this from Carnival. They're both. I would jump back on another Oasis class ship with Royal Caribbean in a heartbeat, but I would never turn down jumping on Carnival either, because I love their sail away parties. I love the vibe on board a Carnival cruise ship. So it's they're both equally fun, and they both have their good points.
So what you say? So what do they do on Royal that you say you say equally fun? Obviously you got all the deck parties and you got the comedy and everything. So what on Royal was comparable, you think, with in terms of?
So they have every night they have some kind of party, which I mean I know they do on Carnival too, but it's some sort of themed party every night. So they had a red party, of course they had a white party, the silent dance parties, ice skating, and then during the day they have the belly flop competitions and dance offs and world's sexiest man, sexiest woman, all those kind of things going on. But it's like there is so much going on those Oasis class ships at all times. It's nuts. I mean, it's, you're going down the abyss, or you're on the flow rider, you climbing the rock walls, there's the boardwalk, and there's always something going on in the boardwalk. And they have adult themed arcades. They've got the Playmakers bar. So you're in there, you're watching NFL football and eating wings just like you're sitting at home. I'm putting Royal way over, but that was our last cruise, so, but we missed sail away. We missed having that cruise director interaction that you get on Carnival. We love that part of it. We also think that Carnival probably does like karaoke. We're big karaoke folks. My wife doesn't sing, but she enjoys it. Karaoke seemed to be better, in my opinion, on Carnival. But the food on Royal, oh my goodness, even the buffet food is just top shelf.
That's one of the things I've heard about some other cruise lines, when they compare to Carnival. Like, for example, I've heard MSC's food is not very good when compared to Carnival. And I haven't been on MSC, so I can't say for myself, but that's just what I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but you're saying Royal's food is as good or better than, yeah.
I'll tell you, there were certain things that we had off of the buffet on the Royal ship that were better than some things in the MDR on a Carnival ship.
Okay.
Not everything, but there were some things. And then they also had this other restaurant called the Solarium Bistro. So the Solarium is their adults only area, but it's also, this Solarium Bistro is included as part of your cruise fare. And I mean, it's like an MDR setting, but it's all organic, gluten-free, fresh, fantastic food. I mean, some of the best food I've ever had, and it was included. And it was like specialty dining, but it was included.
Well, I'm definitely gonna get out and get on some other cruise lines just as soon as Carnival stops giving me these.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, MSC, Carnival, and I heard Princess has some great deals right now too.
I mean,
I just want to cruise. I don't care who it's with.
Josh, and you're probably gonna be mad at me. I don't know, but the cruise out of Norfolk, on the Carnival Magic in August that I'm going on that you were asking me about.
Yeah.
I got an aft balcony with $200 in credit from the casino and $200 onboard credit. Taxes, port fees, everything out there under $500 for an aft balcony.
Nice.
It's
I
like
know why we don't get those offers.
Go on another cruise line. Like I'm just going to be on Carnival the rest. I like not gonna. How can you turn that down? You can't. You know.
So, we haven't invested enough into the casino to get those offers yet. That's our problem.
See, the thing is though, and Suzanne that's on the screen right now, she's just made the last comment. She got the same deals, and she's not like a huge player. I've played a lot less. Now, in the past, I've donated some good money to Carnival, but you know, she's a blackjack player, but she's not like, you know, just dropping, you know, C note after C note. And she got the same deals that I got. I mean, they gave us like 8 deals. You know, 2 of them were like balcony deals, 2 of them were like ocean views, and I think 4 of them were like interiors. But they were all that same kind of deal where it was $100 per person, but then they give you, you know, 200 in the casino and 200. So, I mean, crazy good deal. But I know she's taken advantage of several of those deals because she messaged me about them.
They are taking care of us on the booze cruise. So we've got onboard credit. I think we got a balcony suite, if I remember right. And it was around it wasn't that cheap, but it was around that. I want to say we paid like right at $700, you know, for the booze cruise. But that was part of that was because, you know, we went through SCT Adventures and used them as our TA, and they had blocked off a certain amount of rooms and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's the price points right now you can't beat. You need to jump on them because inflation is going to catch up with us at some point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you know, as soon as Carnival prices get to a point where I'm like, okay, it's high enough that I can start looking at other, then I will. But it's too cheap. Yoli is a big Oklahoma Sooner fan. I think I'm correct in that, right, Yoli? So who are they playing in the bowl games? Did they announce their bowl opponent yet? I'm curious.
I don't know. I remember when they played Georgia in the Rose Bowl, though. I do remember that.
Oh, that's you're.
Hey, let me tell you. I remember going into the
Bulldog fan in the house.
Going into the second OT, I remember looking at my wife and I was like, you know what? If Georgia loses this thing, I'm still happy because it was such a great ball game.
Yeah.
I know that's easy for me to say because they won, but still, that was one of the best college football games I've ever seen in my life.
What do you think about that game he's referring to, Yoli?
Oh, she likes Florida State. Okay.
No,
it's FSU person.
Is it Florida State, Yoli? I could have swore you were an Oklahoma fan. But okay. So she gambled for the first time on the Vista last week, didn't win, but it was fun. All right. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get any offers for that one time there, Yoli. But I will say this: it seems like the slot players do a lot better in terms of offers. But I'm a table player, but craps and black
slot pull. Set up slot pulls.
Yeah, well, you know what? The bar crawls wear me out enough, like I said.
But I have heard, and we haven't done this. Wow. I don't know what that was outside my door, but well, I have heard these folks that set up slot pulls and will do 2 or 3 of them on a cruise. They usually leave the cruise with some sort of offer.
Really?
You know what? As you think about it, somebody has to use their selling sign, and they're going to get the credit for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Oh, okay. So no, Yoli is an OU fan. They're playing Florida State. So
okay.
I knew I was confused there for a second, but no, they're playing Florida State. But yeah, they're big Oklahoma fans. Yeah, and Suzanne says, yeah, you get the points for running it. So a couple people have told me that, hey, Tim, all right. I appreciate it. And thanks again for the super chat, Tim. But yeah, I told some other people that said, oh yeah, you should do this, because you get the points. I mean, I'm not into it for that, but for that same reason, it's kind of makes me not want to do it because, I've heard people talk bad about the people that run things too. And I'm like, well, I don't want people to think I'm taking advantage. When I run the bar crawls, I'm giving stuff away. I'm giving lays away. I don't charge anybody for anything. So people think, oh, thank you so much for, organizing this and that. I don't want people to think like I'm getting something or, like I'm profiting off them or whatever. So
you're just having fun with everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I do definitely.
Yeah, they're a whole lot of fun.
Well, hey, Coach, I'm going to have to run and jump over there with Bruce.
Absolutely.
I appreciate this. I always do. We always have a great time. If you hadn't checked our channel out, please do. And it's great meeting you, TikTok Sandy.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah. And before Josh goes, everybody, again, I've been on Josh's channel and the first time I was on it, I didn't know Josh, but him and his wife, they're great people. And that's why I've invited him on the show as much as I have. Just the person you see here is the same person, they're a lot of fun. So definitely check out their channel. And like I said, they do some funny stuff on their channel.
I'm this ugly every day.
Yeah, I think you'll like them. And then help them reach their goal. You see the banner going across for my channel. We're trying to hit 2,000 first, but we are trying to hit 2023 before 2023. So if you're not already a subscriber, hit us both up. They're trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. Like I say, we both got a couple ambitious goals, but one at a time. And if we get enough ones, we'll reach the goal. So
thank you so much. All I can promise is that we'll be authentic and we'll try to have fun. And maybe you'll get a postcard or two if you go in and make a comment on one of our videos, because we do that. And sometimes we give away sausages. That's awesome. So deer sausage. We'll sometimes we do that.
Yeah. I haven't had that in a while.
Oh yeah.
Sadie would be okay. Would you be okay?
She's slobbering now. She's like,
she slobbered all over my arm. Thankfully, it's bad enough when she scratches my arm up, but then I just did my arm a little while. Saw me wiping my arm off. But yeah,
we have mini boxers, also known as Boston Terriers, and So when she is really wanting something, same thing, but it's on a smaller scale. It's just a little moisture on my arm, and
Well, we went overtime. I know you got to get over to Ocean. Anybody that's still looking for some cruise content, head over to Ocean. Josh is jumping over there. That's also, via YouTube and everything. But thanks everybody that's jumped in, and see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces too. So it's good to see you all. And thanks everybody. We will talk.
Have a great week.
Next, Sunday. And we'll talk. But everybody else, we'll see you Sunday, the Island Time after party. Island Time goes on at 8:00 Central, and we'll go on right after that. It's going to be our last Sunday show before Christmas, before the holidays, before I go on the New Year's Eve cruise. And then, of course, we'll be back again next Tuesday. For everybody that did a super chat, your number is still stored and entered. And we'll see everybody. Thanks. Great show. Thank you, TikTok.
Bye.
We'll see you soon. All right.